Now, to your host, Kwekwanan, Spread the Fire. This is Hawk TV. And this is Ghana Speaks, powered by Hawk Investigations PI. Contact the PI on 020-228-3252. Of course, your Global Market Square bring you much closer to hardwares and how to purchase, of course, your home. Do you want to own your home or buy a house, or construction of the state-of-the-art kitchen, including even dig of boho, and then construction of POP and many more? Kojo Awono is the man on the beat tonight. But of course, may I say, Global Market Square, what are we doing there? This is a square where we are inviting you to come and then advertise your product. Come showcase your product. Come tell us what you want the world to know. There are many enyama people here. Ekoswa oya opesi wiasi na ehu. Nanso wunyenya sa akwenya no. Emma Nina no etunya de di mani pe hu onsan weduma ebi kura na eye ensem bi nkomo bi eye abakwa sem bi a opese odi tudwa me wiase na ehu no. Global Market Square sa segment we take charge of sa enyoma we nara a yebetimi aba wo fie, yebetimi aba wo shop, yebetimi aba wo dwumam, wherever me no betra edi sa nkomo no anaso se products now opese we den opa ho entama no yebaba betwitwani na emfoni ne de atudwa edema. Of course eno ena sa Market Square Kojo Awono aha ene ye no so ye na edidwa time and time ono ene ye etu anamon di komo, especially say de wo pese oto efie ana de opese ono ankasa osi ni fie ana mpo se ye si efie ne wie na mom ohun se e brand brand ye si fie ni wie a ade ya na eta kapa na say kitchen wo hodie, but enyama pie say ko kitchen, including say e be pam cabinet ahihye kitchen mu ni ade very stylish one, state of the art ni na no eye o madwuma anampo say wo pese wo to floor tiles e wo fie nim wo dwumam anampo say wo shop eye o madwuma bebre na ne ye si fie ni wi a o se me pe Ghana water nsuo mi akasa me pe boho no me be tu kese pa de ma boho we yetuma wa afimu eko wiase wiye ansa boho ye ebesa. Kojo Awono, I the engineer of our time, ono so ebehwe mani na akoyim se wo pass ase efie nim de ani we na mpo gates kese a yemfanto efie na normal air galvanized metallic gates no ni na Kojo Awono obehwe na waye ne kama ediama. Kojo eno ba be di sa nkomo esima na fi Kojo wi a na mama be pa enne anadwi enkomo a edapono so a esesemi no mienu yedie na eyehu papa ti de metimi aka kire wa ne se wo hwe program no asema bra no meka no unsa kan ya pe wo program no so ema a friend wo program no so fema unua wo program no so fekoto platform kesi bi mu na obia ntimi de enhwe enne wiase na yekuma bi assembly si America in the matter of a second na drew Ghana the because the world has become a global world. Sentia wo te sa asem no na obetimi ehu de ekoso no eno so obi na de bre wo also de won sa aka no nya akwadwero fema obi na ono so entibi na enyoma etwa eguo, especially the issues are ekoso e wo man Ghana mo obia so ebe wo no amanoni o Ghana obenye bi ahwe bidin e de kwaku and your investigative journalist together with Think, and of course we are talking to make a sense and make a sense of direction in the issues all passing by as far as Ghana is concerned. Stick and stay. Kojo, I want to take over your screen in a GV, and then I'll be back shortly to take over Ghana Speaks Tonight. Of course, powered by Hawk Investigative Company. One more say bra. No muntimi mwa. Ma enhwehwemu private investigations. One be ama. Come. Investigations be private investigation as some na making. Abrochire for obi ti abrochire na yere wo Ghana obi butu yere so too much. Obi butu yere so anape wiame anadwo enya nwanwa nwanwa obi do faculty kwa bi so enya ho information kakra bi opese de blackmail obi enya o document bi a won pese om de kwa counterfeit e produce a similar document won to say a real no de kwa den e take possession of your property what ho obi pese o tam wasase bi no di dwane ko what ho obi enya access to the blueprints of fancy products no a one manufacturer na what they buy market no obi enya access to it one person who could produce the same product no me what ho when investigations ana ni nara the Hawk Investigations PI umeduma our best investigation including documentary events near my report. Stick and stay Kojo Awono up next, and shortly after Ghana Speaks what come your way. I am Kwekwan and I'll be right back.
It's a very good thing about burgers. I'm so impressed on telephone.
Okay.
Oh, Freya,
oh yes.
Oh, Freya, no fine. Olivia Casancho.
Okay.
Also, in London, now Bagana.
Freya, now London.
London, one and what's now? Do one in power London.
Okay.
It's in New Cross. Louis Champ.
Okay.
I'm going to buy. Now, he's so nice and friendly. The moment I'm going to moon or for sending me or by a diamond.
Okay, biogas.
Biogas penny.
Okay.
Or for saying you to no does new dim come on normal. No, I know a born. No more pictures.
Okay.
Just say, I'm almost starting personal. Not the plumbing job was so bad.
Okay.
Because there was no washing machine,
okay.
No sink. Just say, jump around here and you come up.
Okay.
But biogas, I see I try. I hear pumping work.
Okay.
And then we were Ghana.
Okay.
We were washing machine.
Okay.
I went to washing machine. Now I'm going to hear now. Give me a moment gas.
Okay.
And you say the one in Ghana, can hear you want to know.
Yeah.
And I will press here. I will try Ghana.
I
will try Ghana. I will design it. I had it with your mom. Oh, one check. Almost a can just so happy. Oh, yes.
Oh, wow. I see. Okay.
This kind of manner, and more women to this over you, Sikajani. Will be down to the wow.
Very good.
Very good. Very good.
Oh, okay.
Very good. And you're kitchen for Brad.
Oh, yeah.
And you're kitchen for Brad. I am the sitting room.
Sitting room. Arrangement.
Everything.
I at the screen so you can see. Nina, biogas.
Trust and believe in biogas. Oh, yeah, especially people workers on me are so nice and friendly. And they go see workers in the bar who are my workers in the fee. Mr. Mayalisa, believe workers in now, open on the other, and no more chance, no to be yes. Okay.
Great, welcome back, and this is Ghana Speaks with Kwekwan, and of course, we are coming to you live from this very studio here, and this is our coded location at Yede Ghana Speaks Ebro tonight. Now, and then Enkoma minimum be dinning young Koma minimum be crada, a sonko, up next on Ghana Speaks. And we bring you an exclusive edition, The Terrible Reason Why. The Archbishop Dag-Heward Mills of Lighthouse Chapel International resigned from the National Cathedral Trust Board. Very exclusive tonight. And Koma minimu bedi and Koma eranom etiefo asemi emu oduye. A minimu bedi sankomo minimu ka asemi da. But Unyakopon aye ya dom ema yenya exclusive enkrata. Sankrata ni yentimi emfa nhye yenkwan ya kache. Ne yepese ye ne Ghana fo ni wiase ne enemu ebeche. And into the activities that this is an exclusive edition, and this intercepted document we the AP Ifrimo. And some be in the coming days, yet Nina Brem, of course, ye can say a year, Asen North constituency by elections, of course, and when some April Nyankopo Yadma 27 of June, Yabe monitor situation, yet Nina, when some air Bremo, special prosecutors, so a Rakisi, Javenzo, so in your Britain, Dendia, Sabri, we declare. Charles Nabin BC we declare wanted and money ade ye hwe sanse mi gauge space ni na ye de wonsam ebe pre palm wo mu se de echo ye wonsam akase bi edigo back yakopon ye adom ye se so bibi mo ye believe say as a see am Ghana fu hu sa asem nim no kra ana Ghana fu enyemu entia eno no quickly na see this our special edition ye de ebe to ho ama Ghana fu mo bekai Omampeni His Excellency Adodanko Akufo-Addo Baya pe. En wo ye se asem bia edena koma so a e asem ben ya esese osi kronkron bia edema ono Nyankopon. Isen se e ade a o hye Nyankopon bo se obesi saade no. Ana se sa kronkron bia no ama a ya to din National Cathedral. Sa se mi beto from no Ghana fu we chi ni hefa na agitu mu. So okay, omampeni nankasa eboso no pese wo yes ade we. Na ye hwe mu nso a Christopher mapa a ye wo Ghana ha no ene ye ejine mu se His Excellency Adodanko Akufo-Addo se osisa konkron bia. Enti empenimfo a wonom de wo ho je sa cathedral na se construction of the cathedral no e ya sofo ekuku damfo paawo a wom wo omaimu eno mampeni etonkra efro mu na so momra meye emwama ontimi eden ensi saadi ewra no omampeni totonkra na afrefe no Archbishop kesia ye na enim no omaimu Dag-Heward Mills a oye osofopon a oda Lighthouse Chapel International omampeni tonkra fre no so omra na ombeka dwumedie no enti eku kitu bia ye form ye se won mo hwe the construction of the cathedral now from the National Cathedral Trust Board no ora Bishop Dag-Heward Mills ekoka ho bi name enkomo na ye bedie ne kowie se ebri ya menemo ka sei the Archbishop Dag-Heward Mills of Lighthouse Chapel wa hoho ne nsa atwe ne ho so efrisa Trust Board no cathedral na ye bisa na dwe se edien kofa baye ne ntia osofu peni omampeni atonkra frɛ no obaye okoka board no na omudi dwuma eba ne sei ene Dag-Heward Mills say ene cathedral ye besio ye nsio me ora Dag-Heward Mills me ne mo eto nkwanta wo ha ya pai mahoho mensa afi cathedral me nka ho bio akwakot pembe bi atra edi na disanseni eba era no oho ne ene nkomo no bebia yede enamo yede konti chewaso papa because nyeme group no so no enuma Bishop Dag-Heward Mills e dia to form no bebre na nim se mo tetete ba ote ya ote ne bit and pieces o but enne enkrata yen saka no the Hawk TV editorial no me nya ne se me ba be samre ye be bien sam ni na enkrata mako enum and a Bishop Dag-Heward Mills atro edi akoma empenimfo bia some penimfo atra transankrata no so then the Hawk TV we are privileged say your intercepted copies it's near the part 1 of this special edition ye de brew ye be kan krata no mu ba miensa atro yankopon yadman next edition no near the nka no so aba be kan na in some way one krata ni mu no kwaku me ho adwiri mi kakra de osofo pani ehun ya o de egu krata so a esese omampeni His Excellency Adodanko Akufo-Addo naso etia. Now the Hawk TV has intercepted a voluminous documents including letters of correspondence revealing the very circumstances underpinning the resignation of Archbishop Dag-Heward Mills a couple of months ago. Sankrata yensa ken ebinie yebetwetwani na ba screen so wehuni ye na ya kan mu nsɛm no so ayɛden akyerɛ wo na ɛkyerɛ kwan a ɛfa so a Dag-Heward Mills ɛwɔ ne nsa. The Hot TV High Place source, however, condemned the assertion and response of the chairman of the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral of Ghana, Apostle Professor Opoku Nyina, who had spoken for the first time, and about the resignation of Dag-Heward Mills, describing the resignation as, quote, in last year, August, Dag raised the issue of resigning because he was not happy with certain things. So myself and the director of the Cathedral Secretariat and some of the trustees went to see him, unquote. Asemi na makaya chiro ne kire se National Cathedral no enipa wono titini a yebeka se chairman oda cathedral na no eye ora anaso osofo peni Opoku Nyina for the first time ababonten ebedi nkomo bi na ne nkomo die ni mu no ene wo o kire mu ekwan a efa so aye Emma Osofopeni Bishop Dag-Heward Mills wahoro nensa free sa cathedral nsem na o kire mu no radio station this no and worker said ebribi baya ono Bishop Vincent Apostle Opoku Nyina ene secretariat ne mpenifo bi called Dag-Heward na wono ko no ensam a Dag-Heward Mills kan say eniama nkitingiti bi na ekoso a ama neni nje ho a ofel say esese wedding we see from na Oma Cathedral no man kasa ye de so omoye say ene Opoku Nyina kana say. He further continued, quote, and what he indicated to us was that because of lack of time and his position on certain issues, he felt that stepping down would be good for the project, unquote. Opoku Nyina esan kire mu osa interview ne ye no say Ora Dag-Heward Mills epese oka se ebri oni ebri dodo a ode beba wo meetings oni ebri dodo a obetimi no ma transe didi nkomo ene me ade nti no Dag-Heward Mills effeles believe say the best way that will help ono any cathedral na honsem say so we see from because of lack of time. But yen the Hot TV High Place source within the can say lighthouse establishment, it shall say sa sem no ro Opoku Nyina be kan ene kura bi enim rano nyankopon fie ene sesi a na me ne mu ko no nti betimi aba se openi Apostle Opoku Nyina ebetimi abeka asem bi se Dag-Heward Mills every trust no so a na enioma mienu ye okan could be described as say untrue. But then what exactly or what could be that of the position of Bishop Dag-Heward Mills against the back of say mempe say National Cathedral Board no subio into me reason here 1 2 3 ora eye Opoku Nyina entimi amfa sa reasons ambassa interview no mo be candidate again. May I also emphasize here and establish say your high place source so within the Lighthouse Chapel International Church say Sasam so Opoku Nyina be kan so and the Caribbean. But my meaning come away in show neti Opoku Nyina echo sa radio station wa one capture the video or can nensem effort the resignation of Lighthouse Chapel International Bishop Dag-Heward Mills and some of kind say asem the say net now so in the Caribbean. Take a listen to Apostle Opoku Nyina.
Recourse to the trustees. Afe accountability issues no ne baba sam enkomo we na papa antia se ya na oba ya the reason ya na sede
dag na no ya na oyobi a okere na adwene pa na senia adwuma na government no ede mai no se asore no ene abai no na Edi asori ni abai no eye no sa approach ekwaya ye fa so na nkasa no ya na edin na wanya kwaya bra obi ti say me kura sabia bra na me ye chairman ya miguso functions as chairman of the Church of Pentecost meetings ni be bra oho amentumi ama nti obi ti say dag sa no bra onya kwai ba meetings ye abra lockdown no e ba ye no na fe ye meeting sabre no na mi hu se na onya kwai pa eti na mi hu se nneɛma no bi wɔ hɔ a ebia sɛ yɛhyia mu koraa ne atake decision no anhwɛ yi a wonni hɔ a wobɛka sɛ yɛnka ho hwee na mu yɛwɔ ho document ni nyinaa nti sɛ nea woka no rightly no last year bɛɛ August na kyerɛ sɛ saa nsɛnsɛm yi a ɛhyɛ aseɛ nyina biribia koraa ma ɛna Dag erezi sɛ saa nneɛma ni adeade nti ɔpɛ sɛ nka no ɔbɛ step down nti mia mehyɛ da ɛfa director fa trustees ni bi ka ho na yɛkɔhu no ne yɛtena aseɛ ɛne ne kaa ya na sɛ deɛ ɛne ne kaa ya na ayɛ no na ɛkwan nya onya na afei sɛnea ɔno nso so na de yɛ ti no ka sɛ o feel sɛ cathedral no ɔpɛ na mu o step down a ɛbɛboa no enti odi kai ka saa asɛm no koraa ma yɛne ne hyia ɛkɔyɛ ho ntotoe ansana saa dede ne ho nneɛma no ɛba no ebesi nɛ ɔsɛ na koma ɛda so wɔ cathedral no ɔgye di sɛ ɛsɛ sɛ yɛtumi yɛ.
Okay, FM. Just gone past professor first apostle professor Opoku Yina ɔno na ɔyɛ chairman Emma National Cathedral ɔno na asɛmnie but there will kai mpanimfo a wɔn mo da asɔre Lighthouse Chapel International ne kyerɛ sɛ ɛne korɛ bi but quickly my main comment say I kweku amegyina he personally I think say this is about the second time or the third time me kasa assembly against the back of say opening Ura Bishop Dag-Heward Mills of Lighthouse Chapel International. My respected bishop is so much and beyond. And I think say my bepenasem so much that even to the extent and then nipa be brain him say kweku once a time una we investigate Lighthouse on some yes and on na de bia nipa bi intimacy no nti ana mo madri bi na madri so well so long as I say kweku akoka opini we asem a ana wakoka edwumaku we ho asem a ana waka politician bi ho asem a sa nipa no ana say edwumaku no asem papa bi so wo mo ho a still esese kweku ana ba be gina simpie so no kana poto sa ho enya sa no because there will be times that whatever be a na wo come wasem a sa asem no enipa ne me respond you know na e bia na de wo kana that's the right tell say ubewe investigations na obe say baby wo mu a na nipa no esese we de wotnetre ne nima nti wotnetre ne nima we are still do you take it up on the person you don't do that that is a deliberate personal attack when you say nipa no but I have a great respect for Bishop Dag-Heward Mills, especially on the very circumstances of his resignation from the cathedral. Now, my Bishop Asemi, papa, and I hope, say, the rest of our sofum pinifua, one more cathedral, no, perhaps we take the same steps and see how one be demonstrated actually on my penny akufuado the wrongs and the issues are air course of our national cathedral. No woman shin year, woman young coupon tem, coupon bibisa. But tonight, the Hawk TV will reveal and detail full disclosure pursuant to the resignation document to our viewers why Archbishop Dag-Heward Mills came to that crossroad and decided to walk out of the door of the National Cathedral. The Yebeyani and Kratanwa ya intercepting. Menemu bekum ne ya kanina achirem na wankasa wate wasum de ya Dag-Heward Mills a free cathedral so no broni beka say what precipitated this move by the bishop. First krata yensa esumnie krata yi yetrono on the 2nd October 2018 and a krata way Bishop Dag-Heward Mills or Troy. Now, for the purpose of truth and clarity, yen kind of work krata and show. Also, dear Most Reverend Dr. Samuel Asante Entry and Paul Opoku Mensa. Clarifications concerning the National Cathedral project. Deg-Heward Mills Nekasi. Also, thank you for the privilege to serve on the committee of the National Cathedral. I have reviewed the proposal that were sent to us, and I wish to seek some clarifications. to the public eye, it seems that certain decisions concerning the National Cathedral are ascribed to the committee, whereas that may not actually be the case. Indeed, it will be appropriate to ascribe decisions which have been taken concerning the National Cathedral to the committee, when indeed those decisions have not been taken by the committee. Mempese yebe chirechire mu bebre ayesa de ye no ebewa, but owura Dag-Heward Mills e pa kire say decisions be nti momfa nche me ene yebe kinkan ni na, but nyini na so na mechire mu otwi no me san say me believe say say motemase. Owura Dag-Heward Mills e kire wo ha say decisions bi wo mu a cathedral no empenimfo e take here ono de onim ha we ye ya sa decision wo mu take here, because even though or a member, but untimi recall say no a part of why as our decision wo mu take here ewura no asem mu du ye o na muntie ni ye na otoko so say I would be grateful if Mr. Chairman, if I could get a clarification on our role and responsibilities as members of this committee. The following decisions need clarifications as to who exactly is taking the decisions. I feel Dag-Heward Mills ABP Sansembi. Number 1 is the decision to choose an excellent but expensive architect like Mr. Adai Motipapeidin Epen Ubisa someone home. Ozay is the decision to choose an excellent but expensive architect like Mr. Adai deemed to be a decision of the committee or a decision of the government? Ubisa. Is it the committee that has hired this world-renowned architect? Is it the committee's decision to pay the consultant $30 million as stated in the proposal? I do not remember taking any of these decisions, and I would need to know if such decisions would one day be ascribed to the committee. What? Number 3, the decision regarding the design of the building with its concomitant cost. We are aware that the cost of the building is approximately $250 million. The design of this 5,000 seat building is beautiful but unusually and uniquely expensive. This specially designed building would cost more than most of the other huge buildings in Accra, including the Villaggio buildings, the new EcoBank headquarters, the Jubilee House, the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and many other buildings. I indicated at an earlier meeting the cost of these various buildings in Accra and presented evidence to the committee. It is important to know if the decision to carry on and build a National Cathedral at a cost of $250 million is being ascribed to this committee. Who exactly is taking this decision and whose responsibility it is? Is it the government decision or it is the committee's decision? I would need to know if such decisions would one day be ascribed to the committee. Indeed, the committee may not on its own opt for certain things if they were indeed the ones taking the decisions. Dag-Heward Mills may be the same way. Number 4, if it is the government decision to spend $250 million on the cathedral, we as a committee agreeing to raise the $250 million. I do not recall the committee taking the momentous decision and responsibility of raising $250 million. As a committee member, it is important to be asked if we can raise such monies. Do we have the ability to raise such monies? Indeed, the committee may not on its own opt for certain things if they were indeed the ones taking the decisions. Number 5, the decision regarding payments already made to the architect. The public is constantly assured that the government is not giving money for the project and that it is the churches that are funding this project. We have, however, been informed that some substantial sums of money have been paid to the architect for various services already rendered. Are these payments deemed to have been authorized by the committee? Whose money is funding these payments? I do not recall that the committee has yet raised any money to that tune for the cathedral. I would need to know if the decisions and the payments made for the cathedral would one day be ascribed to the committee. It was for the American Haka creature. Ora Dag-Heward Mills person wa kire se sikapudua ye tua ediama architect no on kai de biara da se wono Bishop Dag-Heward Mills a oye member of the Committee Trust Board of the National Cathedral wono ma kire se di nkomo bi one se cathedral no be cost tia how into the first place no yama obiati ase including the board of the cathedral say the entire cathedral no yesia nebo ebe cost saying $250 million for some figure way to baby money e pacho first figure no appear and say the cathedral would cost $250 million. Put this figure somehow somewhere, because there's going to be another shift. There's going to be a shift. Another figure should be PA. 3 figures be PA. No will be someone said, no, wait a minute. A Christopher and one will take cathedral hall. Ye basic cathedral, and all me a politicians, and all me a businessman. Say a Christopher, then the question is, why these figures keep changing? And in whose interest none of ways are them? Dag-Heward Mills will be said, and come up bay and a course one, ye did to muse architect way and ye person in the edge one. And come up bay and a course one, ye did to muse architect the new abo airting, and now quite wasting the emphasis for yen sit down. I feel young court cratan as well. You're one number 6. Now, Dag-Heward Mills, Bishop Dag-Heward Mills, etwas so I was saying, the decision on the choice of location for the National Cathedral, the choice of the location, as we are all aware of, it's controversial and expensive. There are indeed lawsuits in place. Is this decision to demolish the mansions of the judges, as well as other buildings, being ascribed to the committee? Whose decision is it? These are expensive decisions, and those responsible for the decision should know whether they are responsible for them or not. Is it the committee which is deemed to have decided that it can raise the money to pay the demolition and rebuilding of all of these mansions? Indeed, the committee may not on its own opt for certain things if they were indeed the ones taking the decisions. The Dag-Heward Mills be so and say, Afi Yemra said, yes, a big cathedral and besi be DC no. Ye kububu daya kasia wo hunyara. And the Dag-Heward Mills be so has said, why entry mupo and a coba sent yemubu sa dani nancy si cathedral. Sika ben ye debate ya san crofoneka, ye be resist says canon to every as na Dag-Heward Mills be sanye. Number 7, I say the impression is given that the committee which would build the National Cathedral represents the church in Ghana. Indeed, the committee does not represent enough of the church in Ghana. From my observation, the current leadership of the church in Ghana is not a major part of the National Cathedral Committee. Did you hear that? Therefore, it sounds erroneous to say the church in Ghana is building and funding the National Cathedral when they have not really been consulted on it. For instance, the Catholic Church is reported in the news to have said that it was not consulted on the construction of the cathedral. If these realities can be clarified, it would be very good for onward movements of this project. Afidaki bisaw ha say, ya yenete say, ye say, ye feel say, sa so dan kakraka ye be say, e Christopher en sorry ye won memu ha en esi wo nan so ye si wo mbesi, but that is no, enye sa na assembly. That is like a false impression ye creating. A sense say, even Roman sorry kese ye wo Ghana ha no, aba bontia be ka say, cathedral no ho kra no ye be si ye beden, e hu nsem ne hu sikasem no, wo mu ni mu hwe. Nti e ba ne say, en sansem we apia ni nana nkwaye asem we se ye discuss ni nya esu engira ni esi gina ni yi na ye tete nsem sa. Ghana for young Queen Mose. It has been almost 2 years since we started our committee meetings. We constantly meet to speak about things that do not move the project forward substantially. Can you imagine? Or same fear me a committee no mushia, a shia, one more ayano babaye, Nanso no babaye ni nana umushiano, ni nara and amfa fence and committee uncle could rubebia. A so fool. The majority of the church, which we claim would provide the money for the cathedral, has not even been contacted or consulted. At our committee meetings, various members indicated that they were not in position to take decisions for their denominations. Therefore, in my opinion, nothing very substantial is actually being done to build this great vision. In the pace of proceedings of building the National Cathedral deemed to be the pace of the committee, or are there other factors we are not aware of? Who would be blamed if this National Cathedral is not actually built? Will it be deemed to be a failure of the committee or some other party? Is the President aware that we are expected to clarify many issues with him on many occasions but never met with him? Is the President aware of the very slow pace of work of our committee? Many questions have come up at meetings, but their answers have never been provided. It is my hope that the Honorable Chairman and Executive Secretary would provide the much needed answers to these questions. I am happy to continue functioning as a committee member because I believe strongly in the idea of the National Cathedral. We do, however, need to know the decisions that we, the committee, are responsible for so that we can act appropriately. Thank you for the well-outlined proposal and thank you in advance for your clarification. Yours faithfully, Dag-Heward Mills. Maybe I can one more copy of Dag-Heward Mills Krata Waken Training. And this is the first Krata Dag-Heward Mills at Troyer at the committee on 2nd October 2018. And the Dag-Heward Mills at Kawahe said, or say, and sorry, Bebri, I yesu said, one more Boa Cathedral on first, Yamobia mania. A bium, a soft one so one would dance, sorry, anwa. One more so case, Cathedral on Semno, yes, one more account in Bebri so winning. And a woman so what committee in the society said, woman to me so ain't taking decisions on behalf of my denominations. It says, I saw from Penny for no crazy man, and on what committee is no here. Ghana for. And your baby say the National Cathedral, the construction of the cathedral, before, during, and the takeoff. A dear Fapem, a dear Memotuo, a dear Inkutamudie, and a course at the office of the President. And Sunday, this are a software Kukudami, whom will be Guso. And Yan Yenimno, Yenim said Duncan Williams, Archbishop Duncan Williams was so, Yenim said Otabre was so, Dag-Heward Mills Basso. Friends, Reverend Eastwood Anaba, no, was so. As of Kukudam. So what went wrong right from the beginning? Entia Cathedral, also for Penny Obisa and some way. Now, Yansha, why and Ora Dag-Heward Mills, the first letter way, or try to come out or copy one, and one more copy of my member within show. Or Sanya, yours faithfully, Dag-Heward Mills, and copy His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana. Archbishop Charles Palmer Buckle, Metropolitan Catholic Archbishop of Accra, Most Reverend Bishop Justice Ofe Akrufi, Anglican Archbishop Emeritus, Right Reverend Professor Emmanuel Mate, former moderator of the Presbyterian Church, Most Reverend T.K. Awotwe Pratt, Awotwe Pratt, Presiding Bishop of the Methodist Church, Reverend Professor Sifas Omeyo, moderator of the Presbyterian Church, Apostle Professor Opoku Nina, chairman of the Church of Pentecost. Chairman Opoku Nina. Then Pastor Mensa Otabud, General Overseer of International Central Gospel Church, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, Presiding Archbishop of Action Chapel International, Reverend Eastwood Anaba, founder and president of Eastwood Anaba Ministries, Reverend Dr. Joyce Aye, Executive Director, Salt and Light Ministries, Reverend Dr. Frimpong Manso, General Superintendent, Assemblies of God, and a Reverend Kwesi Boateng, founder of Power Chapel Worldwide. Say nipa we no ekuku dam we yo ena Archbishop Dag-Heward Mills otro krate or the econom na asem bi wo ha Dag-Heward Mills edi tu dwa iran ehu yie papa camera no me de chiro say ba ye betwitwa ni na aba ehu yie esan say krata we mu a Dag-Heward Mills de come out no amount no na ebe costo in raising the cathedral na ewo ho say committee ni na ewo mutrim say ebe cost $250 million iran muntie ni when na Dag-Heward Mills say no ne board ne. Then Dag-Heward Mills went on to demonstrate national edifice yes wo mem ha say enumpo no ne bo e costo saying. Then he gave examples and gave a cost. National edifice ni bi auditor na bi ni saying ewo ha or say University of Ghana Medical Center yes ni saying $217 million. The Minister of Foreign Affairs yes ni saying $13.6 million. And oba or say the financial center no ewo in Krahono and yes ni saying $56 million. Then Uber Rich Hospital so yes ni saying $250 million. Then the National Cathedral National Theater yes no $34 million. One airport square $40.2 million. We now a national edifice a walk or memoha and Kraha the capital Bishop Dag-Heward Mills or the year examples actually. Then Oba Jubilee House or say $150 million. Yes sir. Then judicial court complex and also $50 million. Then Villaggio walk Tetekwashiwi $117.5 million equivalent of 87 million euros. And Oba Ministry of Defense $7 million. Ecobank head office and also $43 million. And Accra Mall $36 million. Into Wenum and the Dag-Heward Mills a total National Cathedral said no. We ye national edifice it's CAC Cathedral and no a 5 million seater cathedral. No, something must be done. These are the concerns Bishop Dag-Heward Mills raising with the President of the Republic and the Cathedral Trust Board. Awomo anyeden krate yo tro ye dikoe eranum seminimu wia metro say cathedral no womo man response and our man response. This is Ghana Speaks bringing you this special edition of all these exclusive documents a ya picking. Stick and stay. Me short break me ba. We go to the second document then so ya kan actual data Dag-Heward Mills at the trust our document for the second time at the command of the National Cathedral Trust Board. I am Kwekwan and stick and stay. I'll be right back.
This is Hawk TV. This is Hawk TV.
Welcome back. This is Ghana Speaks, of course, powered by Hawk Investigations PI. Contact the PI for all the domestic investigations and everything that's worth investigating, and then we'll give you a report. So, when you're very careful, we'll be beating me how or quite piece of investigations. Of course, we have to do it privately. May I build a report at the amount. Say the open piano. Tonight, on a special edition on the Hawk TV, we are revealing exclusive interceptor report that Echo National Cathedral and no any giving credence and of course to the reasons assigned and underpinning the resignation of a renowned Archbishop of Lighthouse Chapel International, Bishop Dag-Heward Mills. Of course, mobile kaya in many times yet says answer in semi our radio, so TV, so social media, television, all over. But then the most part in one a bit bizarre is to understand the underpinnings, what exactly went into the resignation of Bishop Dag-Heward Mills. Of course, the media need to me are painstaking to give you details of what was really in the resignation, because we need to know what predicated Dag-Heward Mills to take that step. The predications and the precipitation respectively must give credence to say whether or not he's a man of God. And again, we are building a national cathedral, but it begs the question, if Dag-Heward Mills and Dag-Heward Mills say no, he simply just wouldn't want to be part of the construction of God's house. Is that the issue? Because a drew baby no nini pebi yen say ora Dag-Heward Mills pesa obeboa mayesi onyankopon fie de wi asene na ye kan we say do hu ye de otie no we nya asechire. And that's the reason why we believe say details of every biara a call sa resignation no say eno na chine Dag-Heward Mills resign ye no asofu ekuku dampi so apia bonten yenim say Archbishop Duncan Williams watwene ho efiri ho, Reverend Eastwood Anaba watwene ho efiri ho, Reverend Pastor Mensa Otabel watwene ho efiri ho, and the list goes on and on. Na menim say prepare mu no ye be state will gather reasons why sir asofu mpenifo ina details de hye sumase a ema ntomu ina na etwa mo free cathedral no. Now Dag-Heward Mills trust akrata ya 2nd October ya mekan chirewi o de koma o no wantenase o and o sign tro krata foforo e de koma cathedral mpenifo no na each krata bi obetro bi anso no o copy president no. But then again obeka say what did the president do about all these letters e ban ho we and so e be called president ho e be kan achro Dag-Heward Mills etro krata we so on the 4th of December 2018 and not sure krata we and also moon semnity saying very explosive or say dear most Reverend Dr. Samuel Asante Ntwi and Dr. Paul Opoku Mensa heading or say the National Cathedral Yankoma or say thanks be to God and thank you for the privilege to be part of the National Cathedral Committee. A few weeks ago I wrote a letter highlighting some concerns about the National Cathedral project. Even though I have not received any response to my letter, I deem it an important obligation of mine to present a further letter to those of us who have been given the responsibility for the National Cathedral project. Dear Papa, come with na Archbishop Kase. And tell you bia na me tro krata bi de brem. Sa krata na me de brem no, me nya hu emwaye. Nanso se enti yede edwuma bi ahye yensa se yendi dwuma bi nti no mekoswa na maye atrochro se ede aba se be ya mubetimi aiden enya masem no emwaye ede amame. Bishop Dag-Heward Mills ka say or say I am aware that the issues I shall raise here have been discussed already and apparently decided on. However, I think these issues are so critical to the National Cathedral becoming a reality that I have decided to write these letters to that of us, and especially His Excellency the President, whose vision this is, will be fully aware of the issues on the ground. Or say they are making, I say, a pure woman pain. Now so may coswa the danity. Say beya nsemi ebi so bedru o mampeni ho no mampeni hu de ekoso ewo dwumedie nim. Or say I think that it is our duty as a committee to make meaningful contributions to the implementations of this project. By this letter I humbly ask for 3 things: a review of the placement of the National Cathedral, a review of the design of the cathedral, a review of the mode of implementation of this project for the following reasons. Now, Bishop Dag-Heward Mills has seen Wobisa and said, and send me and some Wopeso Wopisa. Dear, it did kind of said, 1. A himfa and a cathedral and SSC this year, Iranum shall some not make an motion to you or say cathedral no ye be seen and him furnace see this year. I feel so obisa said a yes our cathedral say a baby more embe muno quite best near Befaswa a baby. And I feel so last one or say review of the mode of implementation for the following reasons. Nina kusi say eye obi etrimupo and to say etrimupo no as I see a dietuma and yoma miensa. How are we going to get these three things work out, or if you like operationalize it? So Dag-Heward Mills is asking the following questions. Now young core questions. A or say let us review the siting of the National Cathedral. If you review baby a cathedral in GBC, Tiasmo Kawa. Or say we can make the National Cathedral a truly national monument by placing it next to the Independence Square. I suggest strongly that the National Cathedral be placed to the right-hand side of the Independence Square, where offices such as the Town and Country Planning Department, etc. are located. The Independence Square and the Black Star Monument are national icons and are also international symbols and icons of Ghana. Indeed, just as the Tower of Liberty and the Eiffel Tower are symbols of New York and Paris, the Black Star Monuments and the Independence Square appear in every video of Ghana on GTV, CNN, BBC, etc. To have the National Cathedral next to our present-day national icons will only make the National Cathedral a truly national monument. All news, pictures and videos of Ghana would thereafter show the Independence Square with the National Cathedral placed by its side as the main icons and symbols of Ghana. Iran Bishop E. Patre said, "Wono susu se yebesi National Cathedral no ewo bebia yesie ya nti yebubu dan bebre ya wo hwe ne first letter no a obisa kwan ye befa so a yebetuatua eka hodo because yebubu dan bebre ajagefo dan embassies corporate organizations any ahun kekawa eno ye dia kokota eye eka kese a ye ba betua no and was no mama yenkosi cathedral no just at the side of the Independence Square. It was a Ujra Independence Square. One send if I say no. Or na de konina a bet and death registry for more offices in the and it was yen honi nemu. Near for Munko baby fufro. Near see cathedral attached to the Independence Square. It was the Independence Square in here. National Cathedral nefis waba ye fence and the arc ne is one a symbolize Black Star. Not just a nina no or say washa. Ocean international wires to say BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera, and one way to come on. Don't say they be any Ghana ba, and only Dikai APA. It is a no Pia, not a Pia with the Independence Square, a Pia with the cathedral symbolizes our national icon, the Bishop Nekanye. By NTS only the Bay to man. Dear Bium no all raise your account. Number 2, also we can greatly enhance the visibility and prominence of the National Cathedral by placing it next to the Independence Square. The National Cathedral being located next to the Independence Square would ensure that the beauty of this iconic cathedral is seen very clearly, as there would be no buildings to obstruct the wonderful cathedral we are about to build. All casual local and international passers-by would perceive and comprehend the full scope of the architecture of this National Cathedral. In the currently proposed location, the cathedral would be difficult to see its totality because it would be squeezed into its tight space and only part of it would be seen when drive on the narrow road. I heard the papa can say the National Cathedral ne beka Independence Square wow. Of course, one more etwimuko program bi a ye dwumedi bi a ye die wo cathedral obi abemu bi nemom sie kosi wo bebi a ye sie erage we ya ohono o say e so close wo hwe street na wo bia so we kotwam e wo bebi ye si cathedral ne sisi a enye dia Dag-Heward Mills ken na obeka say sabe odi atra na odi nokre e obvious e kwan na da hono ye so close so close into the all kind of nekre and answer enye nekre stick and stay Ghana Speaks, of course, the explosive report by Bishop Dag-Heward Mills, and I'm a President Tiamana. I'll be back shortly, and then we continue.
This is Hawk TV. This is Hawk TV.
Great, welcome back, and of course I am Kweku and I'm an investigative journalist, and this is Hawk TV coming to you live from this very location here in our studio. Yes, tonight's special edition giving you a full disclosure, a full package and intercepted document of Bishop Dag-Heward Mills of Lighthouse Chapel, underpinning, or if you like, reasons behind his resignation a couple of months ago that Ghanaians Enya Assembly, and tonight we're giving you a full presentation of it. Now, before I go break, number 2, number 3, and some of Bishop areas was it. Number 3, we can use the National Cathedral much more easily for national events by placing it next to the Independence Square. If we place the National Cathedral on the side of the Independence Square, the National Cathedral can conveniently be used for national events. The Independence Square would be used for the outdoor aspect of a national event. The whole picture number 3 is see the Batachi Independence Square now, of course. Cathedral there and not indoor programs. Na Independence Square hono aye outdoor programs. Ebeboa emedwumi dibia ye dibia no so akoso kama ewo ho. Oto was say we will acquire a ready car park for the National Cathedral by placing it by the Independence Square. If placed next to the Independence Square, the square can serve as a ready car park. Can serve as what? Ready car park for events being held in the National Cathedral. This would obviously cut down the cost of building the National Cathedral, as there would be no need to build a multi-story underground car park as what is proposed. The Apapani Kawahane said, Bishop Kawahane said, see you could see National Cathedral no, whether adjacent to Independence Square wa. Not just say a program you National Cathedral wa. You bet to me the Independence Square ho asasiyantam ye that way, ye the one a car park. True or false? The answer is true. Or say no so a very reduce cost amaye. Chain say baby a yesi cathedral is here is a winning one and a make catcher and then walk around. Say see a yaka say Uko rich hono rich hona yesi cathedral ya. One mu say abansure twasu mienu akofom. Now bisa say di ntino mo yesa. Abansuru mienu na abansuru mienu esi ho pete kra na ne tenten etisen and na kantini yesi dia kwa asase ase. Why do you think we must do this to ourselves? Sente wonu esi 2-story akofom ne kire say wo mo pe a space a cars ebe park ho na won kasa mo misa mo say that whole region ho ni na no, according to geologists ni na no at the earthquake zone so enti wo kwa ko see 2-story e was asase ne akọ park cars ho na susuan pa so ho na earthquake zone na ye betia ne se daku dima ya panyanyan na mo hyedem ho mo hyedem ho na mo gugu asase na se we na mo nkasa kra no earthquake no ho nyoma kra no ya ye kuduru sen earthquake ho nsem ya ka ne sen engineers sen na mo engage wo ewo cathedral mu mo mbe hu se 2-story na yesi wase no that e betumi de ohawa bre ewura no nyankopon fie na mo ye we enti o say ebe boa ma fi so a reduce cost enti mo the Independence Square ho e de car park na ye okay yenti Dag-Heward Mills o say the cost of the underground car park in the current National Cathedral design greatly increases the cost and the scope of works. True or false? True. Or say, we can quickly overcome the legal and political opposition to the National Cathedral by placing it on the right side of the Independence Square. We can circumvent the legal issues that have stalled the National Cathedral project by a decision to relocate this project. Now, since here can say, a nipa would be bring no makoko court. Say, you bubu me die. Embassies for court. A judge for be court. Private organization for court. And to Dag-Heward Mills say, and to win now, you better avoid this cost win now. See, ye nyama one kwan so na ne peripera kwan so due diligence cost we na e betrego Ghana for asem da ho nya asam kito na wo bet say the cost of the cathedral no be fi ehuri ekwekodro na osofo penny Bishop Dag-Heward Mills asem krama fa nya adwuma. The president, His Excellency Adodankwa Akufo the nkrata we na be ba wenim ba won fe obuo ama pape eni asofo penny for mo so. Okay. Dag-Heward Mills was saying, we must not use the Marine Drive project as an excuse for not relocating the National Cathedral project. The Marine Drive project can be relocated if we really want to move it. Please note that the Marine Drive project does not have the hostility and opposition that the National Cathedral does. The Marine Drive project is constantly used as an excuse for dismissing this very good suggestion. At the moment, the Marine Drive project is not far advanced. Indeed, the Marine Drive project would only be partly affected by the relocation of the National Cathedral to the Independence Square. The Marine Drive project can equally be moved to another location. Fantastic suggestions. Now, not as a Dag-Heward Mills raise say young fat dining court enko si National Cathedral in channel. Dear bebre air can so no Mobekaya the Marine Drive project no so nam kwem. Na womu susu say Marine Drive no air ba sa belt no. Enti say ye ko si National Cathedral no ho a ebe hade. Na mu misa mo say the Marine Drive na National Cathedral na dey na mu place more priority e wo so. And what you say si ye ko si even National Cathedral no crowd wo hompo still the Marine Drive ni ye betimi so aye kakra bi na chese ebetwi no na no so kra no architects and engineers ni betimi shape ni homa na aye so sa suggestions we are papa yi kan emu nye hene eno beka senti eje wano esibone folks na yemra or say let us review the design of the National Cathedral afi dark easy as an foforo bi wa say I feel that it is the responsibility of the committee to assess the design presented by the architect and not just accept it totally without calling for necessary modifications that have huge cost implications. As we speak, the committee is deemed to have accepted the architect's design wholly. What say? Or say committee no the National Cathedral Trust Board no ayo masedi se architect ni design no omodi aba wono be trust ayem pensem mo hwehwem ye hu se design no eye ne kwan so pepepe a ye di be si dan no ana eno amasa ne ye giatum sa de a but then we no ka se eno chin so ya giatum de enti na so omoye ne sa or say however there are certain implications to the design I beg to bring our attention. Some people may consider my suggestions unnecessary, burdensome, or even frivolous, but it is important that the committee analyze this design and suggest modifications based on the cost and other implications. I suggest that the design of the cathedral be looked at again with a view to have an affordable project that would start and conclude within our set time. Papa no do can the bishop can say no. Design architect ne dia ba no ehun be hia se be pie ni ase ya hwe ne yi na fi ya ye ehun pensem bi mu a ebetimi amansakraye abem modification eno ba na sa no a eboa e ma cathedral ni sie no ebetira mo mwesiri ntem in fact even within record time. This is what Bishop Dag-Heward Mills can say. Mo hwe ni say na mo bi enye mano ensi bone se dia meka no meka se tia mo ana me tete mo ana se me de ha madwen me yie mu ena na bishop no or cancer assembly. Now here or say let us modify the design of the cathedral to seat more than 5,000 people afiwo. So cathedral na esi wo na ye kosi nkuntan no enkonwa ebekọ edanim no just 5,000 per eranum asem na national in even simple national theatre kran enkonwa san na efa o na mu kosi cathedral national cathedral 5,000 enkonwa na ebekọ dem. Are we serious with the cost na yaka to your dream no sana asem ne tie hey you've not heard the worst part yet. Now I say I suggest that the building should be designed to seat at least 10,000 people to make it a truly national monument. Or say a larger seating capacity does not necessarily mean a more expensive project. The seating capacity depends on the design and what the various spaces are used for. The national event that would use the National Cathedral would usually involve more than 5,000 people. Since there are already a number of halls in Accra that can hold 5,000 people, many people wonder why we would construct another 5,000 seater at such great cost. The bishop can say, "You will a day who pay a national event a woman 5,000 seater capacity already. Into yin to me soon san see National Cathedral and also so 5,000 seater. Cost years and never at a we never no yen raise the bar men couldn't kakra at least 10,000 seater crana not just any bar. Now dark etwa so how say let us modify the roof design of the national the roof or say the gigantic steel trusses of the current design of the National Cathedral was span 70 to 100 meters and are comparable to those of an aircraft hangar. Let us say, roofing, as I said, the Cassium aircraft is one aircraft no more than is here near the aircraft and I question my friend hangar. Into a patch, I say, cathedral and Cassium Bibisa. Now, roofing is a more do. And also, indeed, these steel trusses are so massive that they are more than 3 stories high in some sections. These enormous trusses are also to be coated with concrete and protect from the sea, from rust, etc. These colossal trusses definitely contribute to the beauty of the iconic design. However, they also contribute greatly to the cost and complexity of this project. The cost of these trusses, the weights of the trusses, the safety of these trusses, the complexity of the trusses, and the equipment needed to lift them up into the air are realities that we should consider lest they become the reason for the project not to be completed. Let's just say, and changing na ye de ko boss woni we na na se ye hihye na pepepe se ye changing ye di mu a nye se ye di boss ade achi na ewin nkenre nye se ye di boss ade achi na ni wia ni na ye factor wo mu se cathedral na ye kosie no so ebe po no enti the more sea breeze no ewura cathedral no na changing no so den maybe put it in code the elasticity of it no na ankon kudru sa nsemu papa ni raising you tie or say yanya ni say the be ya dache ankoba say yentimi ensi cathedral na then we could cite this as reasons. No. Or say let us reconsider this design to build the cathedral on a suspended concrete slab. In other words, let us not build the cathedral on the first floor but on the ground floor. Our current design has the cathedral constructed on a suspended concrete slab with other facilities under the main hall. The implications of this design are that we would have over 5,000 people singing, praising, dancing, jumping, and pounding on a suspended concrete slab. This implies the need for a very strong and expensive concrete slab for it to be safe. The same cathedral can be built directly on the ground with other facilities relocated safety within the design. Dear Dag-Heward Mills, Pacha Wahane said, as I said, when we see a dino, a form bed, the internet more the cancer, ni trim pony. Or say, a Christopher, ye pay a Christopher, ye tonum dodo, ye dead. Boy, and some crack, dead, and not just say, compra bahodie. Akamo satemo na ba, hey, iko braka ko, ikikoma gadusa, obi tons ba kumbeti nyama floor no cry then, e break it down. Why not? Nipa ba ko tonso, wo maso wo dem wa, hikae brokoto rikaka ba hegaga. Just say, hadei. Tons ba ko e betimi rezi the builder no. Not just say no, Holy Spirit e descending heavily. Now imagine say Holy Spirit is descending heavily. Can you imagine the cathedral be beaten? It doesn't matter a National Cathedral because Holy Spirit is demo. You think it's a joke? Papa sense danger, says sad danger way is likely to come. Anything was no. Munsi Dino Echo floor. Bishop Dag-Heward Mills is not wrong. He knows what he's talking about. What you say? Bishop Dag-Heward Mills. Onim sentia workers asem say when see wo wa edan one day muti wa tete dem wo edem ho muti ani hirika ne mo amuto minim sasa so obenye baabi afade a mo amubetu tori mpaye mipom wo ase ho. It's not a joke. Oh, Papa na raise very sensitive issues musum mfa nya aduma. Can you imagine? Now folks, anybody do saying and a munim says same way and a Dag-Heward Mills will raise you. And then the Hawk TV is bringing you much closer to the reality. Issues raised by Bishop Dag-Heward Mills of Lighthouse Chapel. And I say these are very, very pertinent, significant issues. As I said, His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, as I said, no utumiye den. Ekum North said Senate. Ghana Speaks, of course, powered by Hawk Investigation. Stick and stay. I'll be right back.
This is Hawk TV. This is Hawk TV.
Welcome back. Ghana Speaks tonight, giving you all the exclusive report, and the reporter a capture here extra reasons also underpinning the resignation of the Archbishop, the renowned Archbishop Dag-Heward Mills. Of course, any amunsem some ya capture the bro. Iran masem na nye joke is now yen twas when say other issues at Dag-Heward Mills erase ibini saying or say let us remove the multi-story underground car park from the design. Elimination of the multi-story underground car park and using the Independence Square as a car park would simplify the project and speed it up. Not just say 2-story building a yesia ko form no. Hey, Ghana for. Na me ba Mr. President. Asemi wo be catch Ghana for say. Eya wo na wa show Nyankopon bo say. Ubesi e dia konkron e dia mo no ewrade. Ye nyoma mpini echi. Ba me say and it's so on mine no ye ko say. President. Na mo nkasa dia mu yi. Mu mi sa ho say anso mu betimi ana. E dan mienu e to aso a mu si kofom. Okay. Now, Dag-Heward Mills, SN raise another issue. I'll say, let us review the mode of implementation of the project. I'll say, let us not trivialize the mounting opposition and hostility to this project because of the slow pace of initiating this project. Much opposition to the National Cathedral has been growing in the country. It is clear that opposition to the National Cathedral is growing intensity, complexity, and diversity. many new groups and individuals have risen up to declare their disapproval and hostility to the project. Some have even threatened to openly oppose it when it starts. The need to wisely, quietly, and speedily stir this cathedral into existence is highlighted by this increased intensity of opposition to this project. I therefore humbly ask by this letter, as well as my previous one, that we wisely circumvent the cause of conflict such as the location of the cathedral and rapidly implement the President's vision. Also, project you akwensidie nipa sorry yempinio enemi adem adoso afi yenhwe se nkabom bi beba kro ye ne sutie bi beba ne ya ye ne se de be ya enipa nyinara epo wono mo ayese yempini no a me so meka ho bie no ye benya adene sacha me ya ye manaide abemu sense e ye president no ne ni so ade ho asema Bishop Dag-Heward Mills say ka kire mu ni o na here odi be wie no o say, let us seize the moment. It is my humble prayer that we shall soon be standing on the site, inspecting the progress of the National Cathedral, rather than celebrating another anniversary of its launch. We are entirely committed to the President's vision of building the National Cathedral, in thanksgiving to God for all the kindness and mercies He has shown to our nation over the years. God has delivered Ghana from a political instability such as in Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, Gambia. God has saved Ghana from international terrorism like occurred in Burkina Faso, Kenya, Tanzania. God has delivered Ghana from civil wars such as were in Libya and Sierra Leone. We have been spared Ebola epidemics like what occurred in Sierra Leone, Liberia and Congo. It is indeed our duty to build this cathedral in thanksgiving to God and to the glory of God. I remind us all of the scripture. But the Lord said to David, my father, for as much as it was in thine heart to build an house for my name, thou didst well in that it was in thine heart. And I'll quote to 2 Chronicles 6:8. No, they shall say, thank you in advance for your consideration of my proposals. And was it in the service of the king. Signed, Dag-Heward Mills. His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, Archbishop Charles Palmer-Buckle, Most Reverend Bishop Justice Ofer Akrofi, Right Reverend Professor Emmanuel Mate, Most Reverend T.K. Awatre Pratt, Reverend Professor Cephas Ameyo, Apostle Professor Opoku Nyina, Pastor Mensa Otabel, Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, Reverend Eastwood Anaba, Reverend Dr. Joy Zai, Reverend Dr. Frimpong Manso, Reverend Victor Kusi Wating, and Sir David Adai, Womo and Akrate, the vision for a year day, a call, 1.7. In 2 B said, we any crater tossing Yenua. Bishop Dag-Heward Mills, a sanctuary, at the command, the President, His Excellency Akufo-Addo, and the Cathedral Board. Answer be bayana, answer biama. Answer bianya Amma Sakrateya or Troy at the command. Now listen here. In another exclusive document cited by the Hope TV, Bishop Dag-Heward Mills had written to the Board of Trustees inquiring to know the role of the Board of Trustees and its functions. Bishop Dag-Heward Mills asaya tro de akoma the Board of Trustees a afi opese osen eti asembia se krata mienu mbe kan am fast ene ye kan mienu miensa na amamo krata ni na ye enum ntimi kan ni amamo ne enti krata we eye dia Bishop Dag-Heward Mills etro ye e de koma the Board of Trustees ni say assembly wo we no so ehwi na sum yie na tiasie timonfa ni yimra na assembly ti hai o say the third Board of Trustees National Cathedral Ochro Krata way 26th of April 2021. And a Bishop Dag-Heward Mills Trokrataway. Or see, dear sir, an enquiry. Thank you for this opportunity. I do write because I feel that the President appointed me to this board so I would contribute significantly to the building of the National Cathedral. I consider my writing of letters and my reason of important issues to the board as my honest and heartfelt contribution to the President's vision. Speaking and writing my concerns is my way of helping this great vision. I pray the board's indulgence for this third letter. Or say, every onomo say, o take this opportunity no watch rosa kratawe. Now watch him say, Oban Penny His Excellency Adodankwa Akufo-Addo and was say one become board no. Ebiom or say the contribution of the National Cathedral and so on. Ni nara ni timu pone na dream po etrese. Only President no eko benkuru ya adwene se esisi yesi konkro bia etisa no ne de hye ono onyankopon animnyam. Enti anu nti no waye krado se akonia se nyina so no only President no enam sa kwa we so. Tie dia da kesi ato aso aka. O say I am writing this third time to inquire and to confirm the responsibilities of the Board of Trustees and to differentiate the functions of the Board of Trustees from that of an executive decision-making body. Dag-Heward Mills person said, "Ekum yenu bia wo madwuma no eya ayete se eya bobom no onte ase. Ye wo the Board of Trustees wo ho. And afizo so osin bisa say the Board of Trustees no any the executive decision-making body no eyekuo ben no ohia nchiremu. Na cathedral ba ko ayesi o ekueku ahodo bebre ene omo hihye mu Ghana for menu mienu yenim ene papa yi pese wonya nchiremu tie de woka o say I am inquiring whether there are indeed two clearly defined bodies with different roles, the first body being the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral as we have known it, and the second a clearly defined body perhaps called the Executive Council or Executive Directors or Executive Trustees of the National Cathedral. This is an inquiry. On Tiasia. Bishop Dag-Heward Mills. And Tiasia said the Executive Directors of Executive Council and also Executive Directors or Executive Trustees of the National Cathedral, and then the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral. Two bodies way from roles how we play. So papa person open say eduma ben and then so on mo eye because one also can trustee board no, and as a Board of Trustees or can who be shahe. I say I am inquiring to know whether the functions of the Board of Trustees would have the following functions so that I can apply myself fully in this decision. I feel the woman coffee. Also, person who said the Board of Trustees no woman juma any dia maybe king kaya chiriana send a bay obiti me who said any juma as well. Now tier. Also to offer spiritual support in the form of prayer and general religious activities such as church service and programs related to the National Cathedral project. 2. To provide moral and social support to the government, its representatives and agents that lead and execute this project. To provide public support and to publicly associate with the project to encourage the populace of the good intent and commendable effort to build a national monument to the glory of the Lord. To raise funds in church and from all favorably minded people who support this project, to represent all sections of the body of Christ, which is the church in Ghana, in providing support to the meritorious vision of the National Cathedral, which includes endeavors to keep the certain Christian community aware, involved and in synchronized with the project, to receive reports from the contractors and architects, and to pay visits to the site and offer any non-binding comments or non-binding advice we may have the responsibility to manage and drive the project and cut costs, etc., would be the duty of the Executive Council. To receive reports from the contractors and architects and to pay visit to the site and offer any non-binding comments or non-binding advice we may have the responsibility to manage and drive the project and cut costs, etc., would be the duty of the Executive Council. To offer non-binding comments as well as non-binding advice to the Executive Council on any matters to do with the financing, the construction, the contract, the engineering, the bills, the contractors, and the general implementation of the National Cathedral project wherever and wherever the Board of Trustees have the opportunity to do so. To visit the site to see progress on the project and acquaint ourselves with the realities on the ground. These duties differ greatly from the executive and decision-making body, the Executive Council, that takes all relevant decisions with regards to the actual project and therefore bears all responsibility for the financial decisions, the contract, the engineering, the costs, and the choice of contractors, etc. Or to us was it, the kinds of decisions that an Executive Council would deal with are weighty matters that have serious implications in many dimensions. I believe that this body would have the President's executive representative who would bring to bear the President's executive will and wishes. In other words, I wish to inquire whether it is the case that the Board of Trustees does not 1. Manage the actual construction or hire or fire architects, engineers, quantity surveyors, workers, contractors, vet, scrutinize, evaluate, or review any decisions related to the financing or the costs of the project. This includes the budget price, source of funding, and accounts related to the project, signing letters of intent, signing contract, approving sums of money made as payments, appointing various individuals to work, etc. Take decisions or contribute to the choice of personnel, contractors, architects, engineers, or any other persons employed or contractors to work on the National Cathedral project. Involve itself with the selection and scrutiny of the design, suitability, durability, or quality of the actual edifice. Bear responsibility for any decisions taken by the executive body or group, since the board of trustees only serve in a non-binding advisory and non-executive oversight role to the National Cathedral project. Dear honorable members of the Board of Trustees, I would be happy if these distinctions is made. If and when this distinction is made, the Executive Council or Executive Directors will not ascribe decisions that it takes to the Board of Trustees. In the past, at programs or on the news or in a magazine or to the public, the Board of Trustees has been presented as taking most of these executive decisions. As far as I know, as a member of the Board of Trustees have never deliberated or approved of certain things. I am not by this letter saying that I do not agree with these decisions or figures, but I do believe these things are being done by a higher body which must be identified and named. These decisions must not be announced or ascribed to the Board of Trustees as we know it. In fact, the Board of Trustees does not know enough but these things to take such decisions. A few examples of these decisions are: I believe that the definition of these two important but distinct roles is crucial and would bring clarity and guidance to our work on this board. From the conception of this project, I have and firmly remain a supporter of the government's vision and pledge to build the cathedral. I believe it is one of the greatest decisions taken by any government in this nation. I am happy to devote myself to the work of being a member of the Board of Trustees, which the President has given me the honor of serving on, and I pray the board's indulgence to clarify these small but important point for all of our sake and for the nature and for the future. The clarification of our roles and responsibilities is of utmost importance at this time as the project has begun in earnest and decisions with huge implications are being made every day. Yours sincerely, Dag-Heward Mills, Board of Trustees, not sure Krato. It was a way. But the name see here. Their Hawk TV, betting a confirm a chum and Kratamian son. And a Bishop Dag-Heward Mills, or sure they command. The National Cathedral Trust Board. A movie no one saw Kratamian saying I'm making country. Pape, or Sofupeni, Bishopy, or sure they call ya, or Modiani at the prayer. A movie no one saw and so one man on my penny His Excellency Adodankwa Kufa the way. Now, so response behind the amber. It was therefore the crux of the issue. The reasons, if you like, the terrible reasons underpinning the resignation of the Archbishop Dag-Heward Mills. Any day, part 1 exclusive edition, at least for you to appreciate and understand the issues very well. Nani pe ka when you be a ka. No one can say, Papa Ninkrata, no call mucho de coin. TV station, you have done crata ni namun sem eti. MM, same tia. Papa ne etu sa na mo. Na mo kasa dia mo ye. Dia ye wo memu hei. Adia ye dia show Nyankopon nyam. Enipa mo board no say no, mo ma ne kre transparency and nedi. Ni nara akoye kataso mu aso le fa hasna na in the next edition you are going to be shocked of how much eventually e bebe wie say 250 million e ko wie 350 million 350 million e ko wie 400 million dollars. Say sika ne ko favor. This is a nation at the crossroads of going to the IMF. And yet, the only time we believe that we can respect God so much, the only time we can make God feel that, yeah, His presence in this country is so much, it's that we have to build a national cathedral for Him. But then again and again, in building the cathedral for God, the cathedral then comes with questions inexplicable that people, renowned personalities, demand to know why this, that. And of course, we are not also ready to give him, answer those questions. Na sekwaye politicians na musie, sekwaye businessmen na musie. We dear, a sofo, renowned men in the ministry, services to God and country, and a dear bidre. Stick and stay. The Hawk TV, Mikoba, will wrap up on this very special edition. Ghana Speaks.
This is Hawk TV. This is Hawk TV.
Great folks. Of course, tonight marks yet another special edition. We've just come your way with this special edition intercepted document giving the very terrible reasons why the Archbishop of Lighthouse Chapel International, Bishop Dag-Heward Mills, resigned from the National Cathedral Board. Part 1 will bring you yet another exclusive intercepted document now giving credence to deeper stuff. Adina Dag-Heward Mills Erizia or the air bread menu me and said. And yes, the corner no self better so man penny vision and it is about some very pertinent concerns, very important indeed. That these very important, impeccable, they need to address them, they need to show concern, and they need to also talk about it. So across the national discourse, will be a benefit. As I said, many believe that Dag-Heward Mills took this steps way in order to clear his conscience between himself and his maker. Dachi Onyankopon bebi sampini for more national cathedrals ni na so say moko ne sen eba ne sen Ghana for sika na ebi si cathedral And this year, senior, and who be here said, Ghana ni biara, including myself, including a software more senior no Upia baby Sansom. Now, baby Sansom say, wait to say near amount answer. Yes, it's as good as mine. For example, Medimusi and Shadow said, company ways also air Tonkra Afro, a BTEC Corporation Service for, or a technological company, more into providing all related website and mobile app service for both personal and corporate institutions. What I said, one more saying website and mobile app services for both personal and corporation. We are now person ye apps with the mama. One man come we to na ye mama so one be design app no at the amount come. A BTEC corporation service for other services include software development and vehicle tracking, i.e. taxi app, school system, organization system, alarm system, CCTV camera, and more. Of course, also a bit to assist in procurement of laptops and computer systems. What I say, open laptops, papi, no way you see the age man. And now, so open say installation of CCTV camera, fear, one baby at the amount. Would the taxi ama or be so in who's true said that taxi, pabam, or the better really be man, quiet be more. See it to me, a pump device with the share taxi near the tracker taxi, baby are all going now. What I say, any friend of tracking. Wakora no ewo school na school ben ya obese o monitor even the activities of abofranwa any school no ni omo ya ni na na your devices e betimi aye e dia hihye kwa mawa ebe boa mo monitor bibia na ni na so no me catch us say ewiase bebia wo bia you still can monitor this development way ya ma ewiase na ye kuma bi si obi nsem wo enti ebusua enya akwadro upese o contact a BTEC corporation ya contact the Hawk TV number na go on 020-228-3252 BTEC corporation service for SFO 020-228-3252 one beje also kama ema koye the same one Hawk investigation for also friend say upese o ye investigations be into domestic whatever and so on so that this company we ye nyoma bebre na ye ya ebeboa wankasa odache de wenya ho information a opese o de trade de opese wenya ho documents bi opese o de blackmail de waba wenya information bi about product no opese or reproduce another ni na nemwa Hawk investigation for airport BTEC corporation for and so abeka Hawk investigations one yebesa app development na ediama corporations ni individuals ni ade tracking systems ni ma bebre yebe ediama shenon so say program we a wo hwe yakopon ya adma I ene wo hwe meminida kwesi ada no ubenya the short and pieces of this program we ewo Air Force 2 and also under Hawk TV as no Air Force 2 and also friends saying platform and also YouTube ubenya short and pieces of it ahwe ewo YouTube one me na no come on. Minimum be see say special edition way April same time next week we'll bring you the part 2 of the exclusive explosive documents way any moon semwa SSF what here na ebem we hu akonia sa National Cathedral Penifoi omodi enamso any Ghana for taxpayers ika yidi kotia cathedral abra ye ma ye ti ase e yo man pinina kasa obeso si na de eventually it turned out to be say no it has taken a direction. It is going on the line of a national assignment. I am Kweko Anan, your investigative journalist. Same time next week I come your way. Have a good night.
Kiramana tichen. Hina kwacheno. Kwe. Utuntutu. Awe!
Thanks for watching. For enquiries, please call 020-2283-252. That's 020-2283-252. Or subscribe and press the notification bell for more videos.